When I first arrived in Prague, I felt like a 6-year-old on a Disneyland vacation. I was constantly telling my friends and family back home how amazing it was. The vibes were terrific and the culture was engaging. Conversations with my friends in Prague would often be about how terrible the US is, or how we never wanted to go back. The first few weeks, I caught on to this idea that my experience would be a permanent vacation, no matter how long I stayed here. After about a month of living in Prague and traveling all over Europe, much of those feelings didn't fade. I was still content in the belief that the Czech Republic was just such a better society than the United States. One afternoon, I stopped by a barber to get a haircut. My barber wasn't much older than me. He spoke a little English, and at first our conversations were strictly about the haircut. Eventually, he asked me if I lived in the United States. I replied yes, and told him how I felt about the US, and he seemed a little surprised. He continued by asking me how he can live there, how he can get a job there, and how he too can become an American. He seemed so excited to talk to me. I told him about getting a visa and all the other steps he would have to take, before I asked him why he wanted to come to the US so badly. He replied that he had visited Miami, Florida for a week when he was young, loved it, and dreams of returning. He told me he loved the opportunities, the people, the landscape, everything America had to offer. He told me how he dreamed of working near the beach and becoming rich. He came from a rural mountain town in Prague, so I understood the appeal. I argued that it wasn't worth all the hype. I told him how our current president was a little off the wall. He replied by saying, well, ours is a drunk. For the remainder of the haircut, we went back and forth talking about the pros and cons of living in the US and Prague. A half hour later, I walked out with a dope haircut and a completely different mentality. He almost convinced me the US is a better place to live. I no longer felt the same vacation-y vibes. I realized I don't actually know what it's like to live here. I'm only aware of my life inside my little CIEE bubble. I only know life hanging out with mostly Americans and dominantly touristy clubs. We shared a common misconception. We both have only experienced a little slice of each other's home country. From this experience, we both felt that the places that were new to us were dreamlands. His belief that the United States was perfect made me realize all the things I had been overlooking in my perception of Prague. You can't consume and fully understand a culture in a month, not even in 3 months. It takes years to actually understand a place. At first, anywhere new might seem perfect. After all, the grass is always greener on the other side. Study abroad can be a vacation if you want it to be, but if you're curious enough, you can hunt for the real grit that actually composes a society.